The friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, the Dark Knight of Gotham City, Geralt of Rivia, the Witcher, the magical Harry Potter, and so many other marvelous characters whose stories we've encountered in our lives so far. And who knows how many there are to come. And the thing is, speaking of stories, these stories are the ones which we all feel more connected to. I believe most of us here would feel that stories are really interesting and entertaining, right? I'm pretty sure you all agree with me. But the thing is, in the 21st century, there are different sorts of stories that we get told. Stories of different genres, action, adventure, romance, thrillers, and so many more. And these are served on different kinds of platforms, be it from movies, be it from novels and books, web series, TV series, or even role-playing video games nowadays. All these platforms, they have an amazing capability to showcase to us, the audience, some of the great stories. But the question is, what makes these great stories actually great? Is it the characters? Or the narration, perhaps? The script? Fair enough, yes. These are some of the most important elements that make up a really great story. But what stands apart from the crowd are the trials and tribulations that the protagonist has to face in his story. And these trials and tribulations exist in every hero's life. You can read any story. There won't be a story in which you will find a protagonist without these trials and tribulations. Because these are the moments of adversity when an inexperienced and an immature protagonist is required to give it all he's got and face these with absolute courage and fortitude. Now, these trials and tribulations, they are very essential in each and every protagonist's life, because these trials and tribulations are the ones that force the protagonist to make a choice. And what is that choice? Either he runs away, quits, and just tears apart his book and just throws it into the trash and run away from it all. Or he can just become a superior, far more superior and better version of himself, emerge victorious and glorious and fight against these trials and tribulations and give them a knockout blow. And this also reminds me of an incident that occurred to me personally 2 years ago. The thing is, 2 years ago, I was diagnosed with a really fatal disease which left me bedridden for months, and the recovery period was far more longer than those months. The thing is, I was told by the docs that I had really less chances of making it. But the thing is, with everything that was going on around me, my world seemed to be crashing. I had lost all hope. But the thing is, this is what was my calling. Every hero's calling are these trials and tribulations. And when these trials and tribulations occur, the hero has to answer his call. Even if he's a little immature, inexperienced, or perhaps just a sissy. But the thing is, when you answer this call, you go up against it. And eventually, you're going to be playing beyond the shadows, cast by everything that is around you, all the circumstances, all the situations. The thing is, my recovery took really a long time. The thing is that I took major steps to fight against that disease. It was a dreadful disease, and to be honest, I was completely out of hope. But then, again, I started searching in the world, started looking for knowledge, started looking to different stories that had been told that I was familiar with already. And then I started looking at these stories as metaphors to my life. I saw how Spider-Man would fight his villains and foes, and how this disease was nothing other than a supervillain. And I was just another hero who happened to save the world. And after that, my recovery gradually began, and it went on and on. Months passed by, and I was able to at least stand again, if not being able to walk. Then after that, After so many months passed by, I started going back to school again, with meaning that I was recovered fully and I was able to hang out with my friends and family again. After that, I had to be a little more familiar with my old ways because that disease, it left me, my routine, with a massive hit, and I had to regain all the confidence and everything that I had before the disease. So I started continuing the story approach by using those stories as metaphors in my life. And then I started giving myself a perfect environment. I started using musings, light musings, which would make me happy when I looked at them. And to be honest, it worked out really good because then I started becoming which I was not, something better. And I mean that in a really good way because I became a far more superior version of myself, meaning I would take risks and other stuff. I would do other stuff which was out of the blue, completely out of the blue, that a regular kid would not be able to do, right? So I even started writing poetries, playing basketball in order to keep my health up and get back to used to the old ways. And then eventually I decided to leave my comfort zone. That was my hometown. And I came to this town, started pursuing my dreams, speaking to people and doing these sessions and stuff. And that is what my story was for me. That disease was the major trial and tribulation of my life. And I was the hero who had to fight back against it. You see, in life, you're never gonna get dealt the cards in your favor, ever. Courtesy of Marshall Mathers, of course, who said, "Nobody asked for life to deal us with these trashy hands that we've been dealt with. We've got to take these cards ourselves and flip them. Don't expect no help." So I could have just been in my hometown, given up on everything that I was going through and just relaxed in my bed. But these stories, they transformed me into a far more superior version of myself. So my suggestion to you all is that start seeing these stories as metaphors and use everything that you can learn from these stories in your life to become a better version, a superior version of yourselves. In the end, just start off by believing in yourself. When you believe in yourself, you will certainly do stuff which other people cannot do. When you start believing in yourself, you're gonna rise up to the occasion whenever the opportunity presents itself, and you're gonna grab it, take it by the horns and nail it. And after that, eventually, you're gonna be playing beyond the shadows. So, my dear friends, what will your story be? Thank you.